What is up, good people? You're watching Brodsy Entertainment. I am joined with a lovely new guest, the lovely is it Shania? Shania?
Shania.
Shania. Oh, look at you, posh, eh? Shania. How are you, Shania?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fabulous. Like I said to you before, I'm having some set. This is a different sort of setup to what I'm normally use because I'm having some issues with my bits and bobs. But yeah, what can you do? I don't want to bore everyone with that. Shania, tell me a little bit about your name. Anyway, what does it mean? Where do you get this pronunciation for it? Because when most people say it, when most people see that they'll probably see Shania or Shania or. Do you
Yeah.
get that a lot?
Yeah, Shania, Shania, the lot. But it's actually, Shania Twain?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm named after her.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
lovely,
I think it's
lovely.
Canadian.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, Shania, who are you? Who are you,
Okay.
Shania? This is one of those questions for the ages, isn't it? Like, who are you,
Yeah.
Shania? In
Good question. I don't know. No, I'm 24 from Wales.
okay,
So that Irish accent that you thought is Welsh.
okay,
Um, and I'm a content creator and dancer.
okay. You have to be careful when you say you're a content creator. Most people think you're going to be like an OnlyFans girl or something.
Oh, no, 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 no. Well, I used to be, but not anymore.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
What happened with that then?
Well, I was only on there to pay my dog's vet bills.
That is so
Um,
sad.
yeah, so I didn't have the money because vets are so expensive.
Yeah.
And they wanted 7 grand for tests. So I
Wow.
was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to shove myself on OnlyFans. Like, it's the only way.
Okay.
I didn't end up having enough anyway, but yeah. So I did it for a month and then didn't do it anymore.
Did you at least get the vet? Did you at least get the vet bill sorted out?
No.
Oh, okay. So what was that? What was that process like then for you? Like you must have felt like pretty down and out, to be honest with you. If you tried it and then sort of like didn't quite work out for whatever reason, and
Yeah.
you're trying to do it for a cause, like to pay your vet bills and stuff. What happened with the dog? Did everything did it end in a happy ending or?
No, you passed away. Um,
Oh, it's horrible.
yeah,
So sad.
but it wasn't like you couldn't prevent it. He died from
Okay.
a seizure.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, it was just one of those things really. But with the OnlyFans, it was like I didn't like it at all. If anything, I regret it. Like I wish I didn't do that.
A lot of people say that with OnlyFans because obviously, like I have huge admiration for women that are going to put themselves out there and try and make some money that way. But the reality of it is, unless you get the right help, it's very very difficult. And you're like you said, you're putting your most vulnerable, you're putting yourself out there, and it can seem like you've almost like the plan's not work, so to speak, sort of thing. Like most people
Yeah,
have but you hear about all these stories, like I mean, I know some of these girls that earn 20 grand, 50 grand a month. You hear the
yeah,
stories and you think, wow, Jesus, I'll have a piece of that. And then obviously you try it and it doesn't for whatever reasons it doesn't kick off for everyone, and it's not nothing
yeah,
personally to do with you. A lot of women seem to really beat themselves up to think, oh, am I not pretty enough, am I not this, am I not that, am I not, and then obviously that sort of affects their self-esteem a little bit as well.
yeah.
But most of the
I
time
got
it's yeah.
good money. Like it was good money, but then you have to realize those photos they can be screenshot. Like
Hmm.
there's nothing to stop them doing that, and then
Yeah,
those photos are out there forever. And is that
yeah,
really worth it?
yeah.
No,
To
not
be
really.
fair, with OnlyFans though, your content is protected. So if anyone shared your post or posted it anywhere, everything is OnlyFans marked and stamped. So no one actually is allowed to post your pictures anywhere else. They can be sued for it. Especially like
Yeah,
that is a big thing that I know a lot of people worry about. But if anyone did copy it, like most of the time, it's like someone that's unhappy with you for whatever reason, or someone's a bit jealous, and they sort of post it around the area that you're in and stuff like that. But they can actually get in a lot of trouble for that. So
yeah,
that's a lot. But I do get that. I do get the draft. So you regret OnlyFans?
yeah.
Okay.
I was also a stripper, but I don't regret that part. It was really
Okay.
fun.
Okay. Talk to me about that. What was your first stripping experience like? 'Cause you're only a young girl. What age were you when you
Yeah.
started?
well, I'm 24 now, and I think this was maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah, probably around 22. But I was too ill to go to a normal 9 to 5. But I still had bills, I had a car to pay for and rent. So I thought, okay, well, my friend works in a strip club, so if I just go along with her and, if they like me, then I'll continue. If they don't, then they don't. Um, but because with stripping, it's so like flexible, so you can leave whenever, you could start whenever. So
Yeah.
I did 9 p.m. till 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Because I had this thing where I would faint. So
Oh
I
God.
was a fainter. I thought I can't go to a 9 to 5 job. I'm gonna faint and like I can't do the rest of the day. So
Wow.
tried the stripping. And to be honest, it distracted me so much that I didn't faint or anything. Like I was just so fine. Um,
That could be
and it
awkward.
sounds
That could be awkward. You're giving some guy a lap dance, and then all of a sudden you're like,
yeah, down I go. But no, it was good. I just threw myself on the pole. I'd
Mhm,
never been on a pole before. I had no idea what I was doing, but when you're up there, it's kind of like second nature. Like you
mhm,
just do it. You don't think about, oh my God, I'm on a pole. You just do it.
mhm.
And that
You're
was
quite
so good.
you're quite lucky as well. You're quite big in certain areas, so you only need to
Thanks.
really sort of like
Yeah.
you've got the assets. You can just sort of whenever you get bored or you can. Oh, we get the point. We get it. We get it. We get it. We
Yeah,
get it.
so it was good. And like they liked me and they asked me to, keep doing it all the time. And I was like, yeah, I have nothing else to do really. So yeah, sure. I mean, there were bad parts. I remember someone just poked my little roll of fat and was like, "What is that? That's not
No.
skinny." And I was like, I cried in the bathroom for like an hour.
Oh bless you.
And then I was like, no, like, I'm going back out there. It's one person's opinion. Just go.
That's
And we
it.
gotta remember, everybody has preferences.
That's
Like,
it.
I could be the skinniest girl in the world and someone's not gonna like me.
Hmm.
So you just gotta think about it.
Indeed, indeed. And the thing about social media, the way it is now, like there is a niche for everything. There's a niche for big boobs. There's like most men want like a woman. They want a lovely sort of curvaceous, a little bit of something to hold on to, lovely big boobs and stuff like most men want that, so you're winning, so you're all right.
Thanks.
Not the skinny look, like it's not really there anymore, like like obviously there's men that like skinny girls, but most people now, like like that's why girls are pouring liquid into their backsides and bloody getting BBLs and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You
But
haven't done that, have you?
I've not gotten a BBL, no, or a
Okay.
tummy tuck or anything like that. I've got recently, I just got my Botox done
Okay.
because, funnily enough, I was on live on TikTok.
Okay.
Um, and I had so many comments about the lines on my forehead and how massive my forehead was. And I was like, you know what? I'm booking Botox. I'm just gonna go do it. And then they won't have anything to say then. So I went and did it, and you know what? It was the best thing I ever did. Look at this. You can't even see any lines.
Wow, that's impressive. That's very impressive.
Yeah, best thing I ever did.
That's impressive. Yeah, I mean, cosmetic surgery at the minute, like there's so many sort of things that you can do now. Like is but oh my god, I've seen some of these plastic surgeons, and they are doing God's work. Like this woman was like, she was in her 70s, she was an old woman, wrinkly, everything, and he made her look bloody. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, that looks like a young woman. That's
Yeah,
crazy what they
it's
can do now.
crazy.
But the
It is
problem is
crazy.
though, the problem is there's like it's good that you feel good about your Botox and that you're happy about it. But the fact that you said that someone made a comment about it on TikTok Live and then you went and got it fixed, that can be quite dangerous, I would say, because imagine
Yeah.
if someone says now like your lips, your teeth, blah blah blah. You need 20 more mils in your lips and all the rest of it. So it's
I've already had my lips done, and
I
I've
I
got
can
a
tell.
consultation for my teeth soon.
Okay,
So
are you? What's this perfection that you're chasing then?
it's not really a perfection. So I chipped my tooth on a night out, and I just
Okay.
want to fix it.
I did
So
that
I'm
as well.
just
Actually, it's not as bad, but I did that as well. It just sort of like a little, it just made it a little bit jaggedy actually. But
yeah. So I just want to fix that, just so I'm confident in myself. And
yeah,
yeah, I think it's important to look in the mirror and think, yeah, okay. I like it. I like what it look like. Because if
Hmm.
something's out there that you can do to fix one of your insecurities, go for it. That's what it's there for. You don't have to wake up and think, oh, I don't like how I look. You don't have to. Just go fix.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, yeah, I get. I mean, if you want to do it, by all means, go for it. But you've also got people that go down the extreme routes, and they're willing to sort of like pay like go abroad basically and get things done half price basically, and then like recently a woman died. She had that be liquid BBL thing. Like women are just
Yeah.
dying for this cosmetic surgery. The BBL thing for me is I'm just like, seriously, ladies, seriously, you want to pour like you want to make your bum bigger, and just so men look at you and say, wow, you've got a great ass, basically. I mean,
But
come on.
who says it's for men?
Oh, here
Um,
we go. It's for
no,
men. We know it. It's
it's
for men.
not. Do you know us girls? We will look in a store window and just look at ourselves. We will do that, and we'll be like, can I make this look a little bit better for myself,
For
not for
yourself.
men,
Really?
not
Really?
for us? Yeah, because a guy wouldn't even notice if you did different. A man has never noticed, didn't notice my Botox. They've not. You've only noticed my lips, but not many people do.
No, yeah. I mean, most guys are quite fickle, to be honest. The turkey teeth thing's quite a big thing, so men, that's quite a popular. So men will notice that.
Yeah.
Boobs, men will definitely notice that. And the BBL, if a girl's had a like, if a girl's just got one of those like whooshing, some girls have got that really whooshing, that J Lo kind of looking thing back there, boy. And yeah, we notice that sort of stuff. It certainly looks great, anyway. Let's just say that, and yes, it's certainly popular at the minute.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Shania. I don't feel like I know you enough, Shania. Tell me something crazy about you. What would I? Tell me a crazy story
Um,
about you. Let's have a crazy story, a funny story.
Put me on the spot. I
All right,
don't
this is an
know.
easy one. Most people love this. Most embarrassing moment that you can think of.
Um, well, it's not very, I'm not a very embarrassed person, but I mean, I have fallen over plenty of times. I mean, there was a time in America where in the daytime it was so sunny, so I had sunburn all over my bum, everywhere. And I went to get sun cream lotion, as you do.
Hmm.
And then it was pouring with rain. And there was a massive puddle. I ran to go to the car, fell in the puddle, a very deep puddle. And by the way, I'm only 5 foot. So yeah, I was completely submerged in this puddle. My sun cream thing went all the way across the other side of the road. And that's the most embarrassing thing I've done.
Wow, wow.
I'm not
So,
very.
okay, that's cool. And yeah, I think now I can actually put the accent. You obviously spent time in the USA, so I think like that's kind of what it is. There's a Welsh accent, and then there's kind of something
Um,
else. What have you done any more traveling?
yeah, I used to go to America every year,
Okay.
Florida. But then when COVID hit, we took a break from it, and then we actually went to Nashville, Memphis, New Orleans, and then Hawaii.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah. So we do go to America a lot.
Okay. So talk to me about your blogs and stuff like that. What you're doing on social media at the minute. Like what made you get into it? What are you doing now?
Well, I've always wanted to go into social media and content creating,
Mhm.
um, vlogs and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, but I was always too embarrassed. But now that I'm a bit older and like I've already been through crap that like nothing else can tear me down so much that I don't do social media, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. It's like I've
Okay.
already hit the lowest I could have. So nothing really can stop me now.
Okay. Okay. Talk to me about that low then. What was this low? Was it
Oh
a
God.
relationship? Was it a relationship?
No. I've never
Okay.
had a boyfriend, so it was all me.
What? You've never had a boyfriend?
Mm-mm. Nope,
Why?
never. Well, I don't trust anyone for a start. Secondly, I'm so picky. If the guy turns up in knee-high socks or even like, well, he's not going to turn up in knee-high socks, but even just a little bit over the ankle, no, I don't like it.
Come on. This is
I
what I mean
don't
when I'm
like it.
talking. This is what I mean when I'm talking about women. Like I'm just like, you got like some women have their sort of like their icks and blah 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 and their preferences and everything. But for me, like so you're telling me some handsome guy could turn up, great body, everything rolling for him, but if he's got knee high socks, there's an issue.
Yeah.
Come on, what's that?
I'll say I why I don't want that. I've literally been on a date where I've been like, I don't like your trousers. Like,
No.
is that something you wear often, or is it just out of the blue? But people have said that to me too,
Okay.
and I don't mind. I'd rather know if I don't look good. I'd rather know.
So would you say you kind of self sabotage these dates then when you go on them? Because it kind of seems
Yeah,
like that.
I talk about serial killers and everything. When you really shouldn't on a first date, I'm like, yeah, have you heard about this story about this serial killer and how he did it? And yeah, probably shouldn't.
Where does that obsession? Where does that obsession with serial killers come from then?
So I studied psychology and
Oh, here we go.
forensic psychology.
Okay.
So ever since then, I've been so intrigued. Like, do you know that in a prison, if they want to deem someone, like if they want to say, is this person ready to be free or not, the psychologist
Hmm.
will show them really disturbing images and videos, and they'll see their brainwaves. And if there's no reaction, they're not ready. They're psychopaths. Like they have no remorse, nothing. But if they have a reaction in their brainwaves, then they have some um, remorse.
Wow. Okay, that kind of makes sense, really, because they
Yeah,
obviously a sociopath is someone that doesn't feel any sort of remorse towards anything. So
yeah.
that kind of makes sense. But is that quite easy to fake though? Do you reckon they could fake that?
I don't think so. Not with brainwaves. If it was facial expressions, yeah, you
Yeah.
can fake that for sure. But brainwaves, I feel like is quite accurate. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. And this would be what sort of who would this be done to? Like murderers, rapists,
Um,
what kind of
I think
people?
murderers.
Okay.
I don't know too much about it, but yeah, I think there's murderers. Yeah.
That's interesting. I never knew that.
Oh, well,
That's
now
very
you do.
that's very interesting. What's your who's your I won't say your favorite. Who's the most interesting serial killer that you've come across?
John Wayne Gacy.
John
He's.
Wayne Gacy.
I wouldn't say he's not my favorite. Like, I just mean that he's very interesting.
Okay.
Very, because usually, if
Yeah.
somebody
I'm going to be
is
honest straight away. I don't know who he is. I probably have heard
oh,
of him. So tell me a little bit about him. What did he do? And tell me a little bit about him.
okay, so this guy dressed as a clown, a kid's clown.
Oh, okay.
So he would go to kids' birthday parties and dress as a clown. But he also had a full-time job, well, I guess part-time job as what was it, a scaffolder or something? He
Yeah.
had his own business. But he would hire young boys to do the work, and then he would lure them into his house and, kill them. But it was interesting because he was a clown. He was a children's clown. And he had a family, he had a wife. Usually, if you're, a sociopath, psychopath, you have certain traits. So, like when you're younger, you'll harm animals. That's such a common one.
Yeah.
And then as you grow older, you will distance yourself from everyone else. You'll be
Hmm.
lonely. You won't be communicating very much. And that's usual signs for a psychopath.
Yeah.
Not a very good relationship with your parents, that kind of thing. But he was fine. He was fine. And then to have a wife and kids, that's bizarre for a psychopath.
Yeah.
I
Well, they
think
do.
Dahmer had a wife or something as
Dharma.
well,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah. Dharma.
it's
Yeah.
very rare. It's rare.
Yeah. Have you watched Mindhunters on Netflix?
Yeah, I
That's
did.
brilliant. That's brilliant, isn't it?
I love that.
I've watched that so many times. I find that so fascinating.
Yeah,
Just the way they sort of like the way they sort of broke down obviously speaking to they spoke to murderers and stuff blah blah blah, and then they sort of like just worked on like patterns and stuff like that, like
yeah,
but like them coming back to the crime scenes and stuff like that, and
yeah. And
I
like
thought that was amazing.
they might be the one who even
Yeah.
called in the first
Yeah.
place
Yes, indeed, because
to act innocent.
yeah
Yeah,
they're so invested in it.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was
that
so
was
interesting.
cool. I think we're gonna have to do a regular serial killer review video podcast. I think they're very interesting actually. So
They
yeah, I can
are. I
get
literally have books of them and everything. Like, it's just
I
so
can see you
intriguing.
you're very well read, aren't you?
Yeah,
So so
I love it.
would you for your spare time? Is this what you're doing then? You're not out going on dates, just sitting there reading and watching serial killers.
Yeah. Um, no, yeah, it is. I will just watch serial killer documentaries and oh my God, there was one. Did you watch the Night Stalker?
Yes, I did watch a Night Stalker. Yeah.
Dude, they he left no trace until one day when he left one footprint. And then
Mm,
when they went to search like where this shoe came from and like who bought it and where, oh, that's mind blowing. That's
yeah.
isn't that mind blowing?
Yeah, it's very intriguing, and just how smart these detectives are as well. Like with their sort of
Yeah,
their tactics and stuff. Like fascinating, really, isn't it? Like what do you think the
it's
obsession
crazy.
is? The obsession with is like with serial killers and stuff like. Because I gotta admit, like I do find it and most people find it very interesting. To be honest with you, anything
Yeah,
to do with serial killers and you know why we're so obsessed with violence and obviously sex sort of content and stuff like that on in movies and stuff like that. There is a
yeah,
big obsession with it. Like for me, so if I want to watch something, the more bloody, the more gory, and the more obviously I
yeah.
like a story as well. But yeah, we seem to be very obsessed with it. So as a you as a are you as a psychologist? Are you a qualified psychologist? Yeah.
I wish, but no. But I was thinking of like on the side, I can help people because like obviously I've been through it myself. I've got self experience and I've learned all about it, all about the mind, everything. So I would love to.
Oh, we didn't actually go deep into that. Actually, did we? We sort of just jumped off that topic, didn't we?
Yeah,
Let's.
it's
And like I said to you,
depressing.
you can be as like you don't have to go too much into stuff. You can just sort of skim over it, whatever But
Yeah,
most people like to see how people overcame things and stuff, because everyone has their lows, and like not everything is always going to be rosy, and you can have like
yeah,
I know so many people that would have perceived the perceived best life. They have a husband, they have a wife, they have money, they have everything, but they're drinking bottles of wine every single night. They're not happy. There's
yeah.
loads of people like that, and and for whatever reason. But yeah, talk to me then. What happened?
Well, I don't really know how it started, but I know that I was in work and I got pulled in, and they're like, "You're becoming noticeably skinnier, and you don't have much like strength," because I was working in retail and I had to, restock the store. And they noticed that I couldn't lift the boxes anymore. Like I was out of breath all the time and I was getting noticeably skinnier.
Yeah.
Um, and so then they said that I would need around a month off, go to the doctor, you know, get tested, see what's happening, what's wrong. And then I figured out that I had an eating disorder, but I didn't know this. Like, I didn't realize what I was doing until the doctor said, "You do have a problem. Like, that's not normal." Because I would go around 8 hours without eating, and I'd go, "Oh, yes, I've done 8 hours. Now I'll go to bed, and I won't have to eat now until tomorrow." And I thought that was so normal. I thought that was what everybody else was doing. I didn't know that was so bizarre.
Were you doing it
So
for a reason? Was it like you wanted to? Was it like was there a subconscious reason, thinking that maybe I want to lose weight, or
yeah, so I watched my mum have a heart attack when I was really little. And that stayed with me for, well, forever. And I always thought that because she's quite big, I thought that if I got fat, I'd have a heart attack. So I wasn't eating very much, and I would
okay,
like try not to eat much because I thought if I eat I'll get fat, that kind of thing. Um, so then that's when I started fainting because I wasn't eating.
okay,
So my body's natural instinct now, if I'm hungry, I'll faint. Like my body doesn't really have time to get food.
okay.
So I will try to, because even now, I'll try to eat before I get hungry because I know that I'm a fainter.
Wow.
because just my body's natural reaction now, like it just goes straight into okay, there's no food, we're fainting, that
So
kind
what sort of timer are you on then?
of about 3 hours, and then
Okay.
I'll have to have something.
And just for safety reasons, you've had something to eat. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Good. Well done. Well done.
um
This
but
this could
yeah.
get really weird if you just sort of drop on me.
um so yeah, and then that triggered the anxiety part because I thought if I leave the house I'm gonna faint. So I did not leave the house for a year. Did
Wow.
not leave. Didn't leave the door. Nope. Because I thought something's gonna happen to me as soon as I leave. And then came the depression because I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't talking to anyone. That kind of thing. So then I was depressed. I stopped washing. I stopped eating. I was just there. I'd literally cry every day. Um, and then I did attempt. But luckily, my sister came home from the beach earlier than I expected. And yeah, now I'm here.
Wow. Oh, sorry. So you tried to end it all at your worst stages then, in at your
Yeah,
lowest point. Wow.
yeah,
That's yes. Wow. It's it's amazing that like the big S at the minute. It's so common now. People are trying to
yeah,
do this. For whatever reason they're going through things, but wow. And it's fated that like your sister you said your sister came early and basically saved you.
yeah.
But
Definitely for a reason because
yeah.
I've done so much since, and I would never have been able to do that if it was successful, you know?
Oh yeah.
But I know that so many people they wouldn't understand unless they've had it themselves. It's like a switch in your brain, like 1 minute it's okay, and then the next you're like, no, no, it's not, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah, I
yeah,
think nowadays, obviously, especially obviously the big problem with men, like so I think it's one of the biggest killers in men at the minute, suicide. At between I think it's between 22 and 40, I think. Men are like the stresses of life, like just financial, and just the pressure of now with social media, everyone is perceived to have this great life. Everyone's looking great. Everyone's got a great house. Everyone's going on a
yeah,
holiday, and that's all you see on social media is the positive sides of everything. And that puts a lot of pressure on normal people.
yeah,
Even relationship wise, like like you like for instance, you've got these dating apps and stuff like that where you can see where you like as a woman, you can probably most women can go online and see like a find the most attractive man, and most
yeah,
women are going to have an opportunity to sort of act on that, so that's making people really shallow and making people think people in relationships think like oh, I can do so much better, and it's people are getting dragged left and right with this social media stuff and the pressures that can
yeah,
put on people and stuff. So and then if you're sitting there looking at it thinking, oh, my life shit, look at me, I'm working retail and blah 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 and all the rest of it. But
yeah,
what would you say was your lowest moment? What would you say? Most people have a rock bottom. Would you say that was your rock bottom? Your sister finding you, and sort of was that like the changing point where everything
yeah,
changed?
yeah.
Wow.
Then my family realized how like seriously bad I was.
Hmm.
Um, and then I got help. I got a dietitian. I had therapy. I did have a social worker, but she came to my house a couple of times, and then she was like, "Yeah, I can't help you."
Wow.
And I was like, "Thanks." My mum was fuming. She was like, "How? How is she a social worker
Yeah.
when like she'll tell someone who's crippled with anxiety and depression, yeah, I can't help you. You can't be helped." How?
Wow.
But my therapist was great, and so was my dietitian. So
Wow. That's amazing. So would you say it was mainly obviously the diet and everything was the main thing, and obviously seeing your mum go through something quite dramatic. Obviously that's
yeah,
obviously put an imprint on you and stuff. But so how do we stop this from happening? How do we like how obviously you've obviously kept this hidden from your You kept this hidden from your family. How do we spot this in other children going through the similar sort of things? What would you say for people to look out for?
um, so you'll notice a difference. So you'll change personality. I was completely different, and my bones were sticking out. Like with the well, that was with the eating disorder, so that's very, very obvious.
Yeah.
Um, with anxiety and depression, yeah, you will get quieter. I mean, you'll try to act fine some days, but there comes to a point where you can't act fine when you're not. You
Yeah.
know, you'll
Yeah.
notice your wanting to eat. That'll change. You won't want to eat, so you'll notice that. Um, Sleeping, you'll sleep a lot.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, you'll notice. Trust me, you'll notice. If
Hmm.
you're taking notice of someone, you'll know.
Hmm. I think because you always like there's been so many times where people have killed themselves and stuff, and they've left like a message on social media. I can't take this anymore. Obviously, that's one of the big things that people look out
Oh
for
yeah,
now.
definitely.
I can't take this anymore. Like a lot, like it's happened quite a bit. Like happens. People just sort of like they sort of said in their last message. I think it's so sad when people especially for because I think sometimes when you feel that there's no other option, there's no way out from the situation that you're in, like that's obviously what
Yeah,
gets you to that point where you just think, right, I'm gonna end this all. But I think having spirituality as well, most people have like I think most people have it in a way, but some people act on their spirituality, and that sort of helps them and guides their life a little bit, where they sort of have someone that's like, if you're not a religious person, and you're on your own, you've got no one to talk to. But if you've got a little bit of spirituality about you, you can say, oh, please
yeah,
help me, Lord, or whatever you want to say, that sort of thing,
yeah.
that's always an option.
Well, that's interesting because what I will say, which I don't often, well, I've not told anyone, I don't think, but when I was at a very, very low point, well, you start to go into spirituality, but not intentionally. So, like, I actually, this is gonna sound so bizarre. You're gonna
Go
think
for
I'm
it. No,
actually
no.
crazy, but I was very intuitive to the point where I would know if something's gonna happen. And I don't have that anymore because I'm like totally fine now. But when I was low, I could know. I my senses heightened and my intuition was,
Give me
you know,
give me an
on a
example.
high.
Give me an example where it was proved to you.
Okay. Okay. There's a couple, but I'll give you the biggest one. So one day I was like, oh, I really have a bad feeling, like I have a bad tummy and I feel like something's gonna happen. Like I know something's gonna happen. That was at around 9 o'clock in the morning. Around 12 o'clock, midday, I went downstairs and my sister had accidentally sliced her wrist with the cookie jar. So she dropped it, and when she tried to pick it up midair, it sliced her wrist. And yeah, she was very close to hitting vital organs in her wrist. And I said, I literally knew. I knew something was going to happen today, something bad.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
I knew.
when things happen like that, there's that always that thought process sometimes in your head that did you make it happen almost.
Well, I wasn't with her.
No, no, I don't. I
It was
don't. I just no,
working.
but I just mean like it. Just like when you like say like if you have say like for instance you have a feeling that someone's going to get beaten up or something like that, and then they do get beaten up, or someone's going to even could be something simple. Someone's going to lose their phone or something like that, and then they go and lose their phone. Like did you like going into that spirituality? Did you make that happen? Would it have happened?
No.
Would it have? Would it have? The question is, would it have happened if you didn't think it? because
Yeah.
because
I can't
because
change the way things are gonna
no,
happen.
I'm just playing with it. I'm just playing.
But
I know
yeah,
obviously you can't, but I'm just playing with it. Because it's like it's quite interesting. One of those things. It's very interesting that like the energy that you put out, not energy, but like you can almost like put things out there into the universe, like and then they happen. It's like, for instance, some people have dream that they lose a family member and stuff like that, but they won't say anything, and then something like that happens, or
yeah,
they do say it, and something like that happens, vice versa. But
yeah.
I'm just playing with it and stuff like that. But yeah, but Shania, um,
Shania.
sorry, Shania. It has been great chatting with you. We've had a lovely chat, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be the first of many chats that we do. Actually, one more question before we go. Next 5 years, perfect world. what would you want to happen? Tell me your dream circumstances in life. Next 5 years.
Uh, um, okay, I want to be on 10,000 followers.
Okay. Come on, seriously. Five next
Yeah,
5 years. I'm talking about ultimate happiness to make you happy. What would make you happy?
okay. Well, I was just talking about in general. But I'm gonna be a successful content creator. I'm
Okay.
gonna, yeah, I'm gonna review stuff and have people who watch me and support me. And yeah, that's what I think. And I'm gonna quit my job.
Okay. Okay. You want to quit your job, so you want to be self sufficient basically in your career. But what sort of like most women your age, you're young, pretty woman, you're in good shape, good looking girl. Um, why don't you want a husband? Why isn't that like what you don't want a husband, you don't want kids and all that?
I don't know. I don't want kids, full stop. No, I don't want kids. But
Explain this to me. Why not?
well, for starters, I've got a phobia of hospitals, and the amount of hospitals I've been in the past 2 years, ah, ridiculous. Never want to go back there again. Not even for a baby, no. Also, I can't cook. Like, how am I supposed to provide for a baby when I can't even provide for myself? Thirdly, I just want to live my life. I want to do stuff. I want to do stuff for me first. You
Yeah,
know,
no, 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 I totally like going out. You want to live a little first,
not
but
even going out. Like, just learn who I am a bit more, and do things that I want to do, and be a bit selfish, I guess.
no, there's nothing wrong with
First,
that. There's nothing wrong with that. They do say though, they do say that sometimes, like a big thing at the minute is women that have chased their career and even the ones that have been successful in their career and all the rest of it, the ones that haven't had the kids have ended up do say when they reach about between that 40 and 45, they do say that they regret it and they do feel like a little bit. Some of them do, not all of them. So don't get me wrong. Some of them do, some of them don't. But no, but it's totally up to you. It's your preference. If you don't want them, I did say your dream scenario. So you just want to be a successful content creator.
yeah.
Have you thought about what happens when you get it? Let's just say you've got it. Do some manifesting now. You've got it. In a year's time, you're gonna have everything that you've always wanted. You're gonna be successful. People are gonna watch you. You're gonna get paid loads of money. How would that make you happy?
Because then I get to share my experiences a lot more and I get to help people then. I don't think I can help people with the platform that I've got right now. I don't think it reaches enough people. I don't know. I just don't think people care enough right now.
Yeah.
But when you're as big as, say, Molly May, you want to know everything she does when you're viewing her. You know,
I'm not
it's
sure.
natural
I'm not sure. I want to know what Molly May does on a day to day
because
basis.
you're not a viewer. That's why. But like,
I
say
mean, I'm
I'm
not. I watched her on Love Island. I couldn't give two craps about Molly May.
No, but I do. I follow her story, and like I
Why?
would want to know everything.
Why? Why? What's interesting about Molly May?
Well, she's doing everything I'm not.
Oh, okay. Okay, you envy the career wise. Okay, envying the career
Yeah,
wise and stuff like that. No, no, totally agree. And she's a lovely girl, to be fair. And Tommy Fury, he's a lovely guy as well. To be fair, like I know he gets a lot of hate from the boxing world because he's not really a real boxer. He's just sort of like an influencer boxer.
but he's
Um,
getting hate from Molly May viewers as well.
really, what for? What do they hate on Tommy for?
Yeah, they split up, right?
No, I don't know they split up. No,
Yes, they broke up. They were
they
engaged.
they
They
got a
had a
baby and everything.
baby.
Yeah.
I know, and they split up. And allegations is that Tommy cheated, and I believe it. Damn right, yeah. Of course he does. He's a boxer. He goes out. He went out with Chris Brown. Come on. Of course he did.
I mean, do you what do you think about successful men that cheat
They're not successful.
because they cheat?
Yeah. How are you? Oh my God. How are you happy with what you've got and you're successful? What does successful mean for you? Because to me, successful means, you're living the life. You've got everything that you wanted. You've got your career. You've got your love of your life, probably. And then why are you gonna go and blow it for some girl you're probably never gonna see again? Just a one night thing.
I'm
Why?
do you know? Unfortunately, like I think this is what's different between. I'm gonna sound a bit. I'm gonna get a lot of.
Sexist?
I'm gonna, yeah. I'm gonna, maybe I'll sound a little sexist
Hmm.
here, but no. But I'm telling you the truth between men and women. The difference between them, like men have desires. Men will have these desires where they can. Like, we're built. Like we're built. We're built to sleep with. One and to sleep with all these other women. It's just the way we are inside. And
Hmm.
yes, it's very stupid. I know people that are in relationships and they've cheated with someone like doesn't not even half what their missus looks like, But it's just one of those things where they just had to sort of they got to a point where they just had to get it off for whatever reason. It's a weakness in
You
men.
don't have to.
No,
Oh,
no, of course you don't have to. Of course you don't have to.
just
But
keep it in your pants. It's not that hard. Just don't
what
do it.
what if it's a girl with lovely jubblies and she takes it out of your pants? What are you supposed to do?
Don't. Just, I've got a girlfriend at home. If you really love someone, why would you do that? Why would you want to
But
go there?
but 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 men are quite easily able to sort of cheat and then go home to their wife, and that cheating didn't mean nothing. It was just literally like cracking a potato, like with a hammer, like whacking a potato, destroying it.
And this
Like,
is why a man was not in my 5-year plan. I want to be happy, not stressed. I don't want to ever be hurt by a man. Because why? What is the point?
has a guy ever cheated on you?
I've never had a boyfriend.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough. Oh, you did say that, to be fair. What? Not even so like do you casually just date guys then, or would you what
I wouldn't say casually just date. It'll take a lot for me to go on a date.
you just
A lot.
are you just swiping sort of? I need a man today. I'll
Um,
swipe.
I got Hinge, but that's because I'm bored. So
Okay,
I'll just chat. If I see potential, then fine, I'll go on a date. If I don't, then I'm not really bothered. It's like I do have a crush at the minute,
okay.
but I'm not. I'm not. Not very keen to be in the dating pool.
Wow, wow.
I don't trust anyone, and especially what you just said. I
No,
don't
no,
trust anyone.
yeah. I mean, more importantly, successful men like people like Tommy Fury and stuff like that. They're very social media success. That's more important. The influencer now, like a TikTok influencer, YouTube influencer. That's more famous than anything. That's more famous than anything at the minute.
Yeah.
Like a bot. Even some boxers don't even have the status of what some YouTubers have, and everyone is watching YouTube, everyone's watching TikTok. So if girls are seeing like a guy that's famous on YouTube or famous on TikTok, she's gonna just throw herself at him. So you've got these guys that are just having women, all body types, the best of the best women, just throwing themselves at you,
Okay,
left, right,
but
and center.
if you're in the public eye, isn't that
Hmm.
so stupid? You're gonna get caught. There's cameras everywhere. You're watched. There's
Yeah,
all eyes
it's
on
true.
you. Why would you do that?
It is true. But like I said to you, like this. Sometimes guys build themselves. Like guys build like you're building yourself up. You want to build yourself up. You want to be famous. You want to do this. You want all this stuff.
Although I didn't say famous.
Well, whatever, but when the guys get to that sort of status, like status or whatever, uh, status, American. When guys get to that sort of level of success, you know, they've built themselves up. Sometimes they're in a relationship where they got into that relationship too early, but they do say men when they get to a certain level, and they've got all those options, you know, they just tend to just want to like sort of just explore those options, but not
Okay, well
they're still
don't.
sorry.
Well, don't.
No, no,
Don't.
of
It's
course, what you're
so
saying is
easy
true.
not to.
What you're
Because
saying is true.
especially if you like someone, why would you want to see them hurt? That's
No, no,
one
but
thing I cannot get my head around.
yeah,
Because
that's
if
true.
I liked someone, I would never want to see them hurt, especially from me. I
Yeah.
never want to make them upset. That's I can't get my head around it.
Hmm. Just it's quite a new sort of not new, but they do say men 400 years ago had three wives and had loads of girlfriends. This is a very sort of new sort of thing where it's like one man, one woman.
Yeah.
It's a very sort of new thing like that's being sort of pushed out there. like kings, queen, all like in the old days, kings, queens, and stuff like that. They never just had, well, mainly kings. They never just had one wife. They had loads of concubines and stuff like that. It's a very normal thing. But
That's when it was a man's world and it was rubbish.
it's still a man's world, isn't
No,
it?
no, no, it's not. We can do whatever man does. Well, me personally, I can't, but I'm sure women out there can.
Why can't you personally do it? What a man can.
Oh, I still don't have my strength. I can't even open my own. I can't even open my own can.
What do you mean you can't open your own can?
I can't bloody do it. I don't want to break a nail. So I
Oh,
can't do
look at you, proper girly girl, isn't she?
it. And like, I
Shania.
don't know.
Yeah, go,
You go.
go, go, no, go.
I was gonna say, I don't even know the difference between a washing machine and a dryer. Like, if I look at them, I'm like, don't know. I don't know. I couldn't turn the oven on. I don't know. There's like three knobs. I don't know which one's which. Like, I can't do anything.
Is this because your parents have spoiled you and they've done
Yeah,
everything for you?
I'm a spoiled brat. Yeah,
Okay, so
for
they've done
sure.
they so yeah so so any guy that sort of goes with you is gonna have his work cut out basically.
Yeah, they
Wow.
have to do everything. I'm just gonna sit there looking pretty.
Well, as well. That's the main thing. That's what keeps men happy. All that sort of
Yeah.
loyalty and a pretty woman that's gonna obviously be pretty for
Yeah,
him.
but I'm
So.
pretty old school in like relationship things. Like I
Hmm.
do think the man should provide for the girl. I do think
Okay.
that. I think he should drive. And I
Hmm.
think he should want to.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, no, no. It's a total not. Not many women admit it, but I think most women want a man in the driving seat. A man that earns more money, good-looking guy, a man that take control, alpha male type of guy. Most women do
Yeah.
want that, but they just don't talk about it now. That and now you have this sort of career woman, sort of. Like we can do everything a man can do. Blah 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 blah. You know.
I mean, we can, but I don't want to
That's it.
personally.
Of course, that's it. You don't want to. Why would you? Like,
Yeah.
why would you? If you can have a man look after you, like, that's been women. That's oh, I say I don't want to be sounding sexist, but that's been a woman's job for hundreds of years to just sort of hold down the house, look after the kids, maybe
Yeah.
or pets, look after the kids, and the husband goes out to work and comes home and relationships work back then when it's like that. They don't seem to work anymore because the power dynamics have changed in relationships. Women are earning just as much as men, and they're not fit. Like, for instance, a woman is going to work, maybe earning more money than a husband. She's going to come back thinking, wait a minute, why am I having to prepare the food? Why am I having to look after the kids? Now I've had to go to work. I made more money than you, and then the relationship for whatever reason doesn't work. But the problem
Yeah.
is like ultra successful guys that make a lot of money, they want you. They want a young girl at home looking pretty. They don't want a boss lady. They don't want a professional woman. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Look, Molly May, she's got all the money in the world, and Tommy's still out there trying it. He probably went with some bloody young girl, some young girl that didn't mean nothing to him. But
Yeah. I can't understand that. Molly May. Oh my God. You had Molly May and a baby. How are you
it's
so
it's one
stupid?
it's something. It's very difficult for one woman to satisfy a guy. It's very difficult. It is honestly. I'm telling you the truth. Like not many people want to hear me say this, but it's very difficult for one woman to satisfy a guy. Like that's why what works is
That's
if you've
because you
got
guys are greedy. You're
it's not that we're
greedy.
greedy. It's just that men
Please.
have desires and needs. Like a
So
man's
do
desire.
women.
I know women do, but like let's just say a woman can have desire. Like let's go for you for instance. You could have desire and need to have a great night with a guy. He turns up with high socks or something like that, and you send him packing, and you send him packing and just go home.
Yeah,
a
I would.
guy, a guy that's in that sort of on the edge of explosion basically and needs that release on a woman. That woman could turn up. That woman could turn up with a black bag over her head, and he's gonna get that. So he's gonna get what he needs.
That's why it's not special anymore because you guys will just do anyone or anything.
But it's not. But it's not. It's not. It's not everyone. It's not everyone. So a lot of people do have restraint. Like most men have hobbies now. Like they have things to sort of channel them. Like mine is podcasting. I do that. I do interviews and stuff like that. and loads of other little bits. I manage OnlyFans girls as well. I'll just put that out there. So that obviously keeps my mind stimulated a little bit. So
Of course it does.
yeah. So yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like I'm at the buffet and I get to like look at all the lovely cakes and stuff like that, and then yeah.
Oh, I hate
But
men.
why?
Ah,
We're good guys. We're good guys.
I don't think so, but each to their own.
You're hard work on your own, love. Jesus, yeah. But but Shania, it has been fabulous chatting to you. Like I said before, we will talk and we will do some more stuff. Shania, what do you want to say? Final message to the world out there. This is what I like to do. Send your
Uh,
message.
Follow my TikTok. Shania underscore Michaela. That's
Boom.
just